Hello, and welcome back to Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. Now, if you know, this week we're not doing any reactions. I'm showing you guys some of the music that I enjoy and kind of recommending it. I did notice in the past, my past two recommendations were a decade old. People were commenting on the I Am Ghost. I used to jam to this back in high school. I used to jam to this back in the 2000s. I went and checked. The five songs I picked this week are all a decade old. I seriously have not done any music exploration in years, which is kind of the reason why I started this channel a little bit of the reason. Um, so yeah, more old stuff. Once again, we're doing like a post-hardcore track, kind of in the vein of I Am Ghost, but a little heavier. This one comes from 2011, um, and it's fast. Not tempo wise. We just move through a lot of short sections quickly. It's a 3 minute song. I think we hit the chorus six times. And yeah. And then there's still a lot of music outside of those choruses. Um, but it's just a lot of the little nuances. I think on a first listen, it's not going to sound too impressive. But it's one of those songs that you have to really get into and listen multiple times, and where you start hearing the small changes. And I think it's a grower. It really grows on you. I wasn't too fond of it the first time I heard it, but now I'd say it is the best song off of this EP, which was actually their first EP. This was just, a lot of bands in their first their first go. It's a lot of experimentation and stuff like that, and you can hear that in here. So let's get into this. The band is Get Scared, and the song is Lock the Doors off of their first EP. I don't even remember what this is called. What is their first EP called? Cheap Tricks and Theatrics. All right. It starts out. It just starts. Let's go. Lock the doors and bark around so that nobody knows where we are. We're hiding from the world. First verse. Just lots of movement between dynamic ranges there. And that pre-chorus was extended by 8 bars. Why? Lots of vocal textures there. Chorus number 4. halftime chorus. All right, so that is Get Scared, Lock the Doors. And yeah, it is a roller coaster of a ride. Start to finish, it's chaotic, it's frantic, it's frenetic, it's just constantly moving forward, lots of momentum, and just these weird little decisions, I'd say. Um, we start in the chorus and then we move into the verse and we don't even really realize it because they're very similar. The drummer is actually using the verse part for the opening chorus, and when the chorus moves into the verse, it just shifts up like a half step. It feels like a continuation of what's already happening. And then we enter the pre-chorus, which brings us into the chorus. We got this coming again, but we have a slightly different section than how we came into the song. And then we move into the second verse, which is nothing like the first verse. The instrumentation is totally different. The lyrical style, the vocal style, sorry, is completely different. And we bounce between soft and loud and cleans and screams and moments of silence where like the guitars pull out for a second. It's just like the end of that second verse, like every bar we're changing to a different style, and then we go into the pre-chorus, which sounds identical until it has an extended like 4 or 8 bar section on it for the choir-esque falsetto part that I don't really know that it adds anything directly to the song, but it's just part of that untamed experimentation. We already did this before. Let's do something different. Our second verse was not the same as our first verse, so when we bring this pre-chorus back, let's change it up a little bit. That brings us into the chorus for the third time. In like a minute and a half, we've hit the chorus 3 times already. And then we go into the bridge, and the bridge is just more of the same but different. It is still just that driving forward momentum, fast. I'm gonna stick with driving. It's not really fast. It's just driving. There's a lot of momentum to keep moving forward, and that runs into the choir chorus, which goes into the halftime chorus, which goes into the reprise chorus, which is the same as the second time the chorus comes around, and then the outro, which is literally just screaming and playing notes and bending them and getting these really harsh, like breaking down feeling to it. And it's just, and that's just like the overview of what's going on. There's just so many pieces to it. But then if you actually like take a specific section and you really hone in on the guitar work, or how the guitar is playing with or against the drums, or how many vocal tracks are going on. There are a lot of vocal layering with cleans and falsettos and growls and screams. Just all sorts of combinations thrown throughout the song. Then there's even bits of polymeter, where in the chorus, the except for the halftime chorus and the choir chorus, and I think no, I think the intro chorus has it too. The drums are pretty consistent on eighth notes. The guitars are pretty consistent on eighth notes, and for the first two bars for it, the vocalist fits right in there. But on the third bar, it shifts to it's either triplets or dotted quarter notes. But it has this three against four feel to it, putting some polyrhythms in there, and it's just all the ways that all the instruments are kind of interweaving and playing with and against each other. There's a lot of interesting texture and rhythmic things going on. I'm not going to say that there's a lot of interesting melody going on. I think the most interesting melody is pretty much the only one, and that's the vocal track. The guitars mostly play chords and single notes as sort of, uh, just basically a sound floor. And that's Get Scared, Lock the Doors. So this is where you guys come in. Let me know down in the comments what you guys thought about it. If you enjoyed it, if you didn't enjoy it, you can let me know why. What parts you thought were awesome, what parts you thought were a little lacking, or maybe some sections, something that you think would improve the song. Go ahead and let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, above the comment section is a few buttons, subscription, liking, a notification bell. You can hit all those things. That helps me out immensely. And there's a description box with a ton of links in it. Patreon, PayPal, a link to my blocked videos, a link to the request spreadsheet, all sorts of stuff in there. If you're interested in anything about the channel, you can find it in there, easy. And I will be back tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. UTC with another one of these Bryan recommendations. And I'd like to remind you that I will be back tomorrow and not again right now. Normally, I do a special selection on Wednesdays, but they are being moved to Saturdays entirely. I'll still be doing two a week. They'll just both come out on Saturday. I have a really busy weekday schedule, what with homeschooling and trying to get all this stuff done. So it just helps me to kind of offload that to the weekend and, kind of condense that down into a single day. So, yep. It also helps me. I'm two will be my minimum. My maximum is however many I can get around to. So if we have a couple of 3-minute songs or whatever on the special selection, I might be able to do 3 or 4 in a day. But it's 4. Jeez, maybe 3 is the max. And that way I can. I'm really trying to get through this list a little quicker. So that's the plan, is to, whatever spare time I have on Saturday to kind of put towards that until I get a little burnt out. That's why I say 3. 4 sounds like a bit much to do in a single sitting, a single day, but yeah. Anyways, no special selection today. We'll have 2 on Saturday, and that is the plan from here on out, at least until winter break. I don't know. I think last winter break I ended up taking the break off to spend time with the family, and I'll probably do that again. I don't know. We'll see. That's months from now. Why am I even blabbering about it right now? I need to worry about tomorrow. All right, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to be checking out something a little different. I know we've had 2 post-hardcore bands this week, and that will be it for that genre, even though it kind of defined my teenage years. That genre did. I have a soft spot for it. But I think 2 is enough. We've had 1 classical song. We're going to get some California rock in the end of the week, as well as something else. I don't want to spoil it, but we are going to get some California rock. I think there's a small band that never really got its chance to shine, and I'd like to give it that chance. Just a little bit of exposure, even though I don't think they're together anymore. I'd like to give it a little bit of exposure, just because they were phenomenal when they came out a decade ago. All right, guys, I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, you guys stay safe and have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening whenever you choose to watch my videos.